You know, the other day I went out and purchased this Bosch RA 1171, and I figure I'd give you a little bit of a show and tell on it, on what I think are its bad points and what I think are its good points. Good points: it's small, it's compact, it's movable. It's a pretty decent made cabinet. Let's see what else. Nice fence, nice throat plate. Get a lot of accessories with it. Feather boards, a couple of guards. Let's see what else it's come with. Yeah, and it's got a started pin for when you're doing freehand routing over the top. So I went to Lowe's, picked it up, got 20% off on it because it was display modeled. They didn't have any at my local Lowe's, and there was a couple things wrong with it. The first thing is, you'll notice if you look by the right switch over here, there's a little white piece. Well, basically that was the safety thing is missing, so I kind of bypassed it for now. I did email Bosch and asked them to send me a new one, and still waiting on a reply from Bosch to get the new one going to me. So, trying to get a pointer stick here. Give me a second. Too much stuff. Here we go. Got a little pointer stick. So this little knob here was missing the safety that you can take out so to deactivate the switch. This unit here is it's got two inlets for it, two plugs. One's for the router that you mount in here. The other one is supposedly for an auxiliary dust collector if you want to hook up your shop vac to it and just hit one switch instead of two of them. I've done that, or not done that, but that's the way it is. I probably won't use it. It's kind of dark in there. I might wind up going to Harbor Freight and getting some little beam lights and put them in there so I can see what the heck I'm doing. But without a flashlight, kind of, it's pretty dark. Let's see. The hinge that was originally on this thing, I'm not sure what they did, but the door wouldn't open correctly, so I took the hinges off and went out and bought a piano hinge, and made this a lot sturdier than what it was. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see what else. I put on these little cleats, I guess you would call them, holders, whatever, on the door. So, hold the wrenches for my for the router. And then this is another safety device for the top over here that you screw onto the top of this with the start pin. Probably won't ever use it, but nonetheless it's in there. They do give you a couple of inserts, and these pieces here are for this feather board. You can route, you'll need those to put on the feather board to put it up here, because that's how this is. For the miter track, it's different. It's a different setup. And then I don't know if you're going to be able to see these pieces or not. Let's see here. So I can get the camera. Yeah, this piece here. That's a start pin. They call it a start pin. So in this little box here, did not come with the thing. I built it. Pretty cheesy, but hey, it holds all this stuff together, and easier to pull one thing out instead of 3,000. Really can't use the bottom of this for storage due to the fact that dust gets collected in there, and unless you're constantly there with the shop vac sweeping it out, which I will be doing, but most people won't. It's not really a storage unit. Sorry, I have to keep going back to the camera here to see if you can see this or not. Down here, there's a dust port for the dust that collects in here, but I won't use it, so I might wind up just doing something else with that, and we're just leaving it. It's a good hole for the cord to escape out of. I did use it for a short period of time. I didn't have any problems with it. Fired right over. The throat or the table plate, the router plate that you mount the router to. This one's dead flat for being. I don't think this thing was made in the USA. It's Chinese made. So for for what you pay for today, we go back to the old adage: you get what you pay for. But I did run a straight ruler across it and no gaps underneath it or anything like that. I've read some reviews on the internet stating that this is a bad design on the table for the way they hold the plate with the leveling screws and then the actual mounting screws. The leveling screws, they're very loose in there, and I can see it drifting. But Loctite takes care of that. Pretty much once you have this plate installed, those screws shouldn't really have to be moved at all. So take it for what it's worth. Some people were saying that they were stripping out the board underneath. Well, yeah, if you're going to crank on it with a He-Man screwdriver, of course it's going to crack. These things ain't made to be, used and abused like most people think they are. They are delicate instruments. So if you use it for its intended purpose, it'll probably last you a good lifetime. There was another defect, and I'll have to get the camera closer to this, but let's see if we can move this here and show you. There's a defect right there on the top of the table that I'm not too happy about, but I got 20% off, so price is cheaper than what I would have paid full price. I did get this, and I did buy the router that's mounted underneath there. It's a double kit. I don't even know what the model number is of it. But anyways, it's the one with the wooden handles. You can Google it on Lowe's. I bought the double router, the plunge base and the router, and it's 2.5 horse. Really nice router, multi-speed, accepts 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch router bits. And I got the bigger router, so I can use the 1/2 inch bits for doing a little bit fancier, bigger work. I have a little palm router, rigid palm router, and that thing there, it works pretty good too. I have no qualms with it, but just for bigger stuff, feed, I guess you would call it, feed bigger material and do different things. Table's nice to have, and a nice router that's a little bit powerful kind of helps out too. So, once again, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. I'm going to tip this back. I did put some feet up underneath the unit, all 4 corners. I just stuck them through the hole down, bolts. And I had those in the junk drawer, taking them out off an old tape deck. I had pieces laying around, so I just mounted it to that. And be surprised with this, it doesn't slide with the feet that I put on there, so it's pretty good that way. The only qualm that I have with this table is, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this. Let's try and get this up here closer. Is that going to work? Maybe not. Just the old tripod here. See if we can get you higher. Higher and down. Okay, that'll work. Anyways, if you notice one thing, you got your guard here. So let's get this guard out of the way. Notice how, okay, you got your little router bit sitting in there. And I don't have one sitting in there right now, but, you got your router bit sitting in there. The fence, if you move it all the way back, you'll notice that you really can't get the throat plate out. It's still blocking it. This fence is not the... I don't understand why they couldn't spend a couple more bucks and put some aluminum T-tracks in there to get this fence on and off. They actually dug into the MDF table. They gave you these screws that are really pokey. And there it is. Let me grab it. And if you'll notice, the screw, it's got 4 sides to it. It does. And they correspond to go inside of the holes that they had cut in the table. So every time you gotta take this table off, this fence off, it's a real pain in the ass. I mean, they could have just as well instead of cutting this hole out here, they could have ran 2 aluminum channels to half the length of this table, and this would have slid on and off like butter. But no, they made this, and you know, if these bolts don't go in here correctly, I don't know what I just did with that bolt. Oh, here, if this bolt doesn't go in here just perfect, it gets kind of hung up, and you're fighting trying to get this thing on here. I don't like it, but hey, some future point, more than likely, I will eliminate the top. I don't know. For the weekend warrior like I am, it's good enough, I guess. I don't know. I guess it all depends on how pissed off I get at it. Maybe I'll do something else. But overall, it's a good table. I like it. It's got a lot of features built into it that are really nice. They give you all these plates for different size router bits. Adjustable, open the fence. You can always make new ones of these. These are made out of melamine and MDF. They give you shims so you can do planing with this. Grab those. Where the hell are my shims at? 2 shims, so you can shim it back here. Looks pretty good. Like I said, I really haven't used this router table very much since I got it, but I only got it a couple days ago. I'm pretty sure I'll be putting it to a lot of good use. I do like to tinker around, but there's the review on the Bosch RA 1171. Pick one up at your big box store, and you'll be a happy camper. Like I said, I bought this along with the Bosch router. The router mounted right up to it, no problem. And I think I got a good deal on the whole package. So, quite happy. And, for the Bosch tools that I've bought so far, which is this, and then I have this table saw, the Bosch table saw. That I really love. I mean, it's a pretty awesome table. Is it cabinet grade table work? No, but I don't really plan on doing cabinet grade table work. And not only that, my space is limited in this garage. I got so much stuff floating around in here that I got to wind up moving stuff around to get any kind of woodworking done. So, anyways, another story in itself, but there's the review on the Bosch.